Students, welcome to the subject Database Management System. Today's session is session number 23 and today's topic is Relationship Degree, Role Names and Recursive Relationship. So students, will begin with the topic. First we'll consider degree of relationship type. The degree of relationship type is the number of participating entity types. Okay, that is how many entities are participating in a relationship. Point number two. Hence, works for relationship is of degree 2 because two entities are participating. One is department, another is employee. A relationship type of degree 2 is called binary and one of degree 3 is called ternary. So students, in binary relationship, okay, two entities participate, and in ternary three entities participate. Now let us take one example of ternary relationship, that is supply. Okay, is an example of ternary relationship. An example of ternary relationship supply is shown in figure 3.10, that will come in the next slide, where each relationship instance Ri associates three entities: a supplier S, a part P, and a project J. Whenever S supplies part P to project J. So there are three entities. One is part, another is supplier, another is project. Point number 2. Relationship can generally be of any degree, but the ones most common are binary relationship. Higher degree relationships are generally difficult, more complex than binary relationship. Students, now will consider the diagram or here, okay, relationship instance in supply ternary relationship set. As you can find here, there are four ovals. One, okay, two towards left, one towards right, and in between one big oval. So left side ovals or set represent supplier and part, and the right side oval represents a set of projects, and middle set represents supply. Okay, so a supplier supplies part to a required project. That is what it means. So there are three entities. One is supplier, another is part, another is project, participating in the relation supply. That is why this is ternary relationship. Relationship as attribute. Relationship as attribute. It is sometimes convenient to think of a binary relationship type in terms of attributes, as we discussed in section 3.3.3 in the previous class. Consider the works for relationship type in the figure 3.9, that is what you studied in the previous session. Point number 2. One can think of an attribute called department of employee entity type, where value of department for each employee entity is a reference to the department entity for which that employee works. So, the employee has got a number of attributes. One of them is the department for which he works. Point number 3. Hence, the value set for this department attribute is set of all department entities, which is the department entity set. So any value from the department entity set can participate in the employee attribute of department. Role names and recursive relationship. Each entity type that participates in a relationship type plays a particular role in the relationship. The role name signifies the role that participating entity from the entity type plays in each relationship instance, and it helps to explain what the relationship means. Students, okay, role name is the role played by entity. For example, the works for relationship type employee plays a role of employee or a worker, and the department plays the role of department or employer. So this is the meaning for works for relationship, where two entities participate. One is employee, another is department. Point number 4. The names are not technically necessary in the relationship type where all the participating entity types are distinct, since each participating entity type name can be used as role name. We'll take up recursive relationship or self-referencing relationship. However, in some cases, the same entity type participates more than once in a relationship type in the different roles. Such relationship types are called recursive relationships or self-referencing relationships. That is, same entity referring to the same itself. In such cases, the role name becomes essential for distinguishing the meaning of the role that each participating entity plays. So here, role name is very, very important when same entity is participating twice. For example, here a recursive relationship supervision. So both the sets here of are entities. Okay, employee entity, left side and right side. So a recursive figure represents 3.11. A recursive relationship supervision between employee in a supervisor role, that is 1, and employee in the subordinate role, that is 2. Continuing further this discussion, figure 3.11, that which you have seen, okay, in where employee is a supervisor as well as supervisee. The point number 2, the supervision relationship type relates an employee to a supervisor, where both the employee and the supervisor entities are member of the same employee entity set. Students, in a company there are number of employees, and one of the employees supervisor and other employees are working under him. So the supervisor and supervisee, that is the number of employees, belong to same set called as employee. Hence, employee entity type participates twice in supervision, once in the role of supervisor or boss and once in the role of supervisee or subordinate. Continuing our discussion, recursive relationship, that is supervision example. Point number 4, each relationship instance array in supervision associates two different employees entities EJ and EK. Two different subscripts are used because to distinguish two different employees, one is supervisor, another is supervisee, one of which plays the role of supervisor and other the role of supervisee. Point number 5. In this example, each relationship instance must be connected with two lines, one marked 1, that is supervisor, and other with 2, that is supervising. And there, point number 6, hence E1, that is in the figure you can see, E1, employee E1 supervises E2 and E3, E4 supervises E6 and E7, and E5 supervises E1 and E4. So you can see students here in this relation. Okay, E1 supervises okay, here left side is employee, right side is the relationship. Okay, so this employee entity participates 2 times in the relationship. Okay, supervisor. The students, This is very interesting for you. Okay, you please study this. Okay, and just remember what is required. Thank you.